गौर अपने मन में हरि हरि। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायण नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नस्तप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतस्य सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Hare Krishna, good morning. So today we are reading from Canto 5, chapter 13, Rahugana converses with Jada Bharat, text number 5. I don't know the meter, let's try. Adrishya jihili shvana karna shula uluka vakpir vyati tantaratma apunya vrakshan shrayate kshutartito Marichitoyani apitavati kvachit. Adrishi jili shvanakarna shula Uluka vakpir vyatitantaratma Apunya vrikshan shrayate kshutartito Marichitoyani abhidavati kvachit. Ladies. Adrishya jili svanakarna shula Uluka vakpir vyatitantaratma Apunya vrikshan shayate suratito. Marichitoyani abhitavati kvachit. Adrishya, invisible. Jili, of crickets or a kind of bee. Svana, by the sounds. Karna Shula, whose ears are disturbed. Uluka, of the owls. Vakpi, by sound vibrations. Vyatita, very disturbed. Anta Atma, whose mind and heart. Apunya Vrakshan, impious trees that have no fruits or flowers. Shrayate, he takes shelter of. Kshuda, from hunger. Artita, suffering. Marichi Toyani, the waters of a mirage in the desert. Abhitavati, he runs after. Kvachit, sometimes. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Wandering in the forest of the material world, the conditioned soul sometimes hears an invisible cricket making harsh sounds, and his ears become very much aggrieved. Sometimes his heart is pained by the sounds of the owls, which are just like the harsh words of his enemies. Sometimes he takes shelter of a tree that has no fruits or flowers. He approaches such a tree due to his strong appetite, and thus he suffers. He would like to acquire water, but he is simply illusioned by a mirage, and he runs after it. Purport. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that the Bhagavata philosophy is meant for people who are completely free from envy. Parama niramacharanam. The material world is full of envious people. Even within one's inner circle, there is much backbiting. And this is compared to the sound vibration of a cricket in the forest. One cannot see the cricket, but one hears its sounds and thus becomes aggrieved. When one takes to Krishna consciousness, one always hears unpalatable words from relatives. This is the nature of the world. One cannot avoid mental distress due to the backbiting of envious people. Being very much aggrieved, sometimes one goes to a sinful person for help, but he has no means to help because he has no intelligence. Thus, the living entity is disappointed. This is like running after a mirage in the desert in an effort to find water. Such activities do not produce any tangible results. Due to being directed by the illusory energy, a conditioned soul suffers in so many ways. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananshala Shalakya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Budale Swayam Rupa Kadamakyam Tatati Svapadantiham Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrachadam Sakana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvedam Savadutam Parichana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Patan Sakana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanjana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudadevi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarupyasha Kripa Sindhupyevacha Patitanam Pavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namaha. Ye Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Wandering in the forest of the material world, the conditioned soul sometimes hear an invisible cricket making harsh sounds, and his ears become very much aggrieved. Sometimes his heart is pained by the sounds of owls, which are just like the harsh words of his enemies. Sometimes he takes shelter of a tree that has no fruits or flowers. He approaches such a tree due to his strong appetite, and thus he suffers. He would like to acquire water, but he is simply illusioned by a mirage, and he runs after it. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees, good morning. And so we are continuing with the discussion with Jadabharata and Rahugana. This is a very long discussion. I think quite some chapters before they started to discuss, and still they are discussing. So it's interesting. And why the reason is, we know Rahugana, he was a king, but he got too much proud, and then he started to act wrongly as a king. He thought, as a king, I can do everything. And then he treated everyone not nicely, and he neglected spiritual life. And so Jadabharata, he's explaining him, okay, you have a duty, you are a king, you have certain things to do, but you have forgotten why you need to do this, how you need to do this, and you have forgotten that we are not the body, we are the soul. And this is the conversation, actually all over the chapters. But Rahugana, he doesn't understand or needs some help or some more clarity. So Jadabharata, again, every chapter, he tries to explain the same thing differently. And he's trying to explain it in more and more and more simple words. In this chapter, he is explaining this, how we live in this material world. He's explaining this through an allegory, an example. How you call in allegory? So he's explaining this in an allegory where one merchant who wants to sell something in his store, so he wants to find some goods he can sell, so he goes to the forest, and then he's struggling. This is we go to this material forest, material world, and we are struggling. So this is the example, and this chapter will be explained, or will be the story of this allegory. And next chapter, Sukadeva Goswami will now explain what it means, every single point. And like in this word, we hear cricket sounds, we hear owl sounds, and these sounds, they give pain to one. We hear that we take shelter of a tree that does not have fruits, and this is interesting. And we look for water in a mirage, in a desert. And I was just thinking, the Shastras and also the Acharyas, they are empowered to explain difficult things very simply. Right? This is an Acharya. He can explain difficult things very simply. And I just thought of this. I don't know how it is called, but these are some episodes, some videos, where one topic is explained by an expert to 5 levels of people. He needs to explain one topic, the same topic, to a child, to a teenager, to a high school student, to a graduate student, and to an expert, a professor. So the same topic he needs to explain to these 5 different. And this is different science topic, can be anything. There are many nice videos about, then you can also learn where you are. And I was thinking the same is done by the Acharyas. Because we are all in different levels, and to explain something, they explain it in maybe simple words, like this story, or they explain it very philosophically, very highly. And we see this also, Prabhupada also uses a lot of these examples, these different levels. One thing which I like is one example that Prabhupada gives, what is the difference between a karmi, yogi, and a bhakta? Prabhupada gives this example. Someone has lost 100 francs on the floor somewhere, and now someone finds it. What will a karmi do? He will take the note and put it for himself. A yogi, what will he do? He will see the note and think, this does not belong to me, so I'm not touching it. I will just leave it where it is. And a bhakta, what will he do? He will take the note and think, who belongs this? And he will go after him, search, find him, and give the note to him. That is a bhakta. So it's very nicely, Prabhupada explains what bhakti means. That which belongs to Krishna, we offer to Krishna. So it's a very simple example. We can explain it to a child, and child will understand, this means bhakti. Or you can explain it like Rupa Goswami, Anya Pilasita Sunya, Jnana Karma Navratam, jnana and karma without jnana and karma. You can explain philosophically, or you can explain with this example, a karmi will do this, jnani will do this, or a bhakta will do this. So very nicely Prabhupada explains. And we find many such instances. Also Mahaprabhu himself, he came to explain Achintya Beda Tattva. And also if he speaks to a Pandit, we will see in Chaitanya Charitamrita how he will explain philosophically this Tattva. When he is speaking with someone, children, he will explain very simply. So I like his story when Nimai was a boy, and he already as a boy teaches what Achintya Beda means, Beda. So mother says, Sachimata says, here's some sweets, please eat. So Nimai takes the sweets, goes outside, but he's not taking the sweet, he's eating the dirt. And mother Sachimata comes back and says, why are you not eating the sweets? Why are you eating the dirt? And Nimai says, what's the difference? I mean, dirt and sweets, the sweets also the ingredients come from the dirt, so there is no difference, Mahaprabhu says. And he is speaking like a Mayavati. What's the difference? And then the mother Sachimata explained, no, there is, in essence, they are the same from quality, but their purpose is different. You can take this dirt, you can make a pot, and you can fill water. Or you can take this dirt, you can make some bricks and build a house. So both comes from dirt, but for which you use is different. So Achintya, Beda. So very simply, Mahaprabhu already as a child, he explains this very difficult topic very simply. So this is the powers of Acharyas and the Shastras. And also here, we have now Jadabharata giving us the example how this material world, or what are the difficulties we face when we are in this material world. And one thing is, we hear harsh sounds. When we live in this world, there are always people who will speak some harsh sounds, and this will give pain to us. Maybe we are the person who are speaking harsh words to others and give pains to the others. And Prabhupada, in the purport, he connects this with envy. He says we speak harsh words because deep down we have envy. And we know why we came to this material world. This is because root cause is we were envious of Krishna. Krishna is the Purusha, he is the Lord, but we wanted to become Lord ourselves, taking Krishna's position, and this made us come to this material world. And to go out of this material world, we have to purify this envy and our heart. And this is the Bhagavatam verse. Prabhupada says, Paramo Niram Macharanam. This is the Bhagavatam verse, the second verse. And there it says, the Bhagavatam, it's the real, brings the real Dharma, explains the real Dharma. And to understand this, you need Paramo Niram Macharanam. You need a pure heart, free of envy. Then you can understand this knowledge. Also in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, right, I am telling you, Arjuna, the Raja Vidya, the king of all knowledge, because you are non-envious of me. Or he says later, after finishing Bhagavad Gita, he says, Bhagavad Gita can be understood by someone who has devotion, who does austerities, I forgot this third one, and who is non-envious. Again and again, Krishna brings to understand spiritual knowledge and who we are in a sense, we have to get free of this envy. And hearing this, I was just thinking of some passages or sections of the Ramayana. Because here it says the suffering that we get from these sounds. The sounds, if they are not pure sounds, if they are uttered because our hearts are not pure, then these sounds cause pain and danger. So some episodes or some teachings from the Ramayana came to my mind, and I would like to share, and especially about Bharata, not Jada Bharata, but the Bharata from the Ramayana. And there is this question. Dasharat Maharaj, he wants to coronate Ram, but the question is, why he wants to coronate Ram at a time when Bharata and Shatrughna were not in Ayodhya? This is a question we ask. This is a question asked by the Acharyas. Why did Dasharat Maharaj not wait till Bharata Maharaj and Shatrughna came back? When everyone was there, then he could have coronated Ram. Then this problem with Kaikeyi asking for the boon would not have come. Right? It only came because Bharata was somewhere else, and Kaikeyi asked this boon for Ram to go exile and Bharata to become king. So this is a question, why did Dasharat not wait? And the Acharyas, they explain because Dasharat, he got a curse, and that curse he kept secret, and he felt he need to hurry to make this curse not come true. And this curse, maybe you know, when Dasharat Maharaj was young, he was going into the forest and practicing some hunting. And one day he said, today I want to practice hunting only by hearing the sound. Not by looking, but just I want to listen. Wherever I feel some sounds, there I want to shoot my arrows. So the sounds, what he's speaking here, you will hear, Dasharat also hears some rustling, some sounds in the bush, and he shoots his arrow, but he hits a boy. Shravan Kumar, the boy's name, he was living in this forest, and he dies because of the arrow, but he has blind parents, and because his parents are blind, this boy, he's taking care of them. And now Dasharat, he didn't want to kill, he was just practicing according to sound, and suddenly he has killed a boy whose parents are blind. So Dasharat goes to the parents, he tells them what happened, and he's very much feeling bad for what he did. And the father says, I will curse you now. And he says, usually I would have cursed you to die, But because you came to me and you honestly told me everything, I will just curse you. You will also die due to separation of your son. This is the curse Dasharat got. Due to as I will now die because my son Shravan is dead, you will also die due to separation of Ram. So this is a curse Bharata Maharaj, Dasharath Maharaj has, and he's thinking, before something happens, I want to make my son king. So therefore he's hurrying. But we know this all started because he was hearing some not least these dangerous sounds. So he is now hurrying to coronate Ram, and he hasn't even yet told his queens that he's going to coronate Ram. He has just said, today I'm going to coronate Ram, or tomorrow, and he's already starting preparation, and he hasn't yet informed his queens, and Mantra now hears all these preparation sounds. All the people are preparing something, and she is hearing these sounds and think, what is happening now? What is happening now? And then she's going to ask and gets to know Ram is going to be coronated. These sounds, which all the Ayodhya Vasis were doing to make preparations, this sound now inflicts some pain in Manthara. Because she doesn't want Ram to become king, but Bharata become king. Why? Because if Ram becomes king, then she thinks Ram will kick her out and she will be a nobody in the streets. And this is the envy that also we have. We don't want Krishna in the middle. We want ourselves to put in the middle. And this is the fear we have, that if we put Krishna in the middle, we think that Krishna will kick us out. So this is a fear, and she's going to Kaikeyi, tells the news, have you heard what happened? And Kaikeyi is very happy to hear these sounds, these words, very happy, because she feels Ram very close to her. But Mantra now starts her words. One by one, she starts to change Kaikeyi. Says, why does your king needs to coronate Ram now when Bharata is not here in the town? So something is wrong, Kaikeyi. Don't trust your husband and what is going on. And slowly, she is, by these words, changing Kaikeyi. And Kaikeyi gets changed, and she asked the boon, and Ram was exiled. So here we see when we are affected by envy, what we are able to do. When we are of envy, Kaikeyi, who was never envious, she got some spark. Mantra fanned some sparks in her, some envy, and she does this very, very horrible sin, which is causing pain to everyone. But the thing now is now what happens to Bharat is now very interesting, because now Bharata, he returns to Ayodhya, and now he gets to hear all these harsh words by these people. Bharata, who has done nothing wrong, he was away, he was involved in this scene, he didn't ask for a kingdom. He now returns back to Ayodhya, and now everyone starts to speak harsh words to him. And he didn't do anything. This is exactly what here is explains about these crickets and owls sounds, which gives us so much pain, which gives so much pain from the relatives. And Bharata is entering the Ayodhya. All the Ayodhya Vasis, they see him and they speak, he has come to rule the kingdom. Bharata is going to his mother, and mother says, Bharata, I have good news to you. Rama is exiled, you can become king. And Bharata says, Mother, how can you think that I am going to accept a kingdom which belongs to my brother? How can you think like this? So he's feeling very, very sad, and he's going to Kaushalya, mother of Ram. And he feels very sorry, so he's going to Kaushalya. And when Kaushalya sees Bharat, Kaushalya says, "Oh, Bharat, you are here because you want to rule the kingdom, huh? You have appeared now. You want to rule the kingdom, right?" And when Bharata hears these words, Bharata is very much in pain because, "Mother, how can I do something like this to Ram? Why do you think that I desire the kingdom? Why do you think I want to have a kingdom? Why do you think I envy Ram so much that I want to have this kingdom? I came here to tell you that I'm going to the forest and I want to bring Ram back." When Kaushalya hears this, then she says, "Okay, now I understand. I misunderstood you. Now I see who you really are. So I'm really, really happy to see your true, very, very good character." So then Dasharatha, he has left his body. So Bharata needs to do the final cremation. So he's doing the final rites. And after everything has done, now another interesting scene happens. Vashishta, his guru, comes, and all the ministers of Ayodhya come and they tell Bharata, "Bharata, your father said this kingdom is now yours, so now please become king." And Bharata hears these words and says, he is hearing these words from his guru and from the ministers. They tell now Bharata, "Okay, Bharata, now Dasharatha's order is you become king. And Bharata thinks, "Why do you think like this of me? Why do you think that I'm going to accept this kingdom? Why everyone is coming to me and says, 'Okay, you came to become king, now become king'?" And Bharata, these words again puts pain. He says, "How? I didn't come to get the kingdom. I wanted Ram to have." So then he has to hear these harsh words kind of from his ministers and from his guru, and he has to also convince, "I did not come to get the kingdom." Then late, he's going to the forest with all the Ayodhya Vasis, and during the forest, he meets different people who also Ram met when Ram was going to the forest. He's meeting Guha. He's a tribian, he's the head of a tribe there, living in the forest. Guha is a very friend of Ram, and when Guha sees Bharata coming, he thinks, "Oh, Bharata is coming because he want to fight with Ram and kill him so that he can forever rule the kingdom." So Guha is ready to fight, and Bharata says, "Guha, why do you think I am coming here to challenge Ram? I want to give the kingdom back. Why do you think like this?" So then Guha also understands, "Oh, I misunderstood Bharata." Shishi Jagannath Balade Subhadra Maharani ki, Shishi Gauranitai ki jai. After meeting Guha, there is an ashram of Bharatvacha. Ram also before went to Bharatvacha with Lakshmana and Sita. And now on this way, Bharata also meets this ashram and Bharatvacha Muni. And Bharatvacha Muni says, "Okay, Bharata, you have come. I want to know, have you come to challenge Ram and fight with him? Then this is a not good idea." And Bharata says, "Muni, why do you think I have come here to challenge Ram? I want to give his king, I want to call him back to the kingdom." And then, because he came with all the Ayodhya, villagers of Ayodhya, all the citizens of Ayodhya, with the whole army, he's coming, and he's coming closer to I think Chitrakoot, and there Ram, Lakshman, and Sita, they have built a hut. They are living there, and they are now hearing these sounds. Someone is coming. Many people are coming. And Ram says to Lakshman, "Lakshman, check out who is coming." So Lakshman climbs a tree. He looks to the side and sees how Bharata is coming with an army. And now Lakshman, he sees the army, so he's going to Ram and says, our brother is coming with a huge army. He's gonna fight with us and he wanna kill you. So Ram, let us take our weapons, let us fight Bharata because he wants the kingdom for himself. And then Ram says to Lakshman, why do you think like this of Bharata? Do you really think our brother Bharata will act like this? Lakshman, let's see, if Bharata comes, I will tell him to give this kingdom of Ayodhya to you, Lakshman. And he will give the kingdom to you, and Bharata will come with me to the forest. If I tell this, Bharata will do. And in this way, we see at the end how Ram or Krishna, they never approve when we think in this way of other people. The acharyas say, why did Kaikeyi, Kaushalya, Vashishta, all the ministers, Guha, Bharatvacha, Lakshman, why did they all expect Bharata to take kingdom and challenge Ram? Because somewhere in itself there was some envy, and they were thinking, because I have this envy, Bharata also must be like this. There's certainly somewhere in himself there must be some envy of Ram, and he must be wishing to rule the kingdom. Therefore, Bharata, he has changed. Because they themselves had a certain envy in themselves. They thought others also must be like this. Therefore, they started to criticize and think badly of others. Of course, in this Ramayana Leela, all the associates, they are pure devotees and associates of Ram. You can become only associates of Krishna if you have no envy. So this is just a Leela to show us how we behave, because how we see other people and judge. And these judging words, it will give so much pain to the others. How much pain it has inflicted to Bharata, similarly our words will give pain to others. There is even a nice dialogue also between Lakshman and Ram later. Years pass, and Valmiki, he nicely explains the beautiful forest, how beautiful the forest is. And then winter comes, and everything becomes cold. And Valmiki says winter is favorite season of Ram, because in winter everyone focuses more on spiritual practice. So, and one day Lakshman, he's thinking, and he's starting to glorify Bharata. Lakshman says, look Ram, Bharata, we told Bharata he can rule the kingdom, but he said no, he is waiting for us. So he is living similarly like us outside in the forest, like ascetics, and he is taking bath outside in the cold rivers. Now we are in the forest, in the Dandaka forest, but Bharata is in Ayodhya, which is much more colder. And so in this winter time, Bharata must feel so much pain in this cold, and etc. So Lakshman is speaking very nicely about Bharat. Then Lakshman says, I don't understand how Kaikeyi, his mother, can be so cruel and wicked. Kaikeyi, she has such a noble husband, Dasharat. She has such a noble son, Bharata. How can Kaikeyi be such a cruel and nasty person? Lakshman says. And Ram, when he hears this, he says immediately, stop Lakshman. What are you telling? Why are you spoiling your words? You are so nicely speaking, and now you start to criticize Kaikeyi. Why? She did it only because there were some reasons, but we should not start to criticize her. If you cannot think good about her, then don't speak of her, just speak of Bharata, but don't start to speak badly of Kaikeyi. So we see here that Krishna, he is never satisfied when we utter criticism, harsh words. Because when devotees do this, it pains Krishna himself. He feels pain. Like Ram said, no, stop Lakshman, don't say this. Krishna feels pain when we do this. So this is exactly, these cricket sounds, the owl sounds, these are, Prabhupada says, these are sounds, because we are envious, we start to speak like this, and other people hear and they become pained. And so, this is the material. Sorry. This is the material world, and what happens? Chadabharata says, we will then look for happiness, we will look for water in this world, in this desert, and then we will take shelter of a tree that does not have fruits. And Prabhupada explains, this allegory of a tree without having fruits means because we are so much suffering, we go outside and try to take shelter of people who cannot give us shelter. Trees without fruits, okay, a tree at least it can give some shades, but it cannot give you fruits and give you shelter in this way. So we try to go outside and take shelter of people who cannot give shelter us. So where shall we take shelter? There is only one person who can give us shelter, and this is Krishna. There is a nice verse by Periyalvar. He says, Tuppudayare adaivadellam sorvidattu thunayavadendre. In our life, we try to develop some good contacts or some good relationships with wealthy people or with people who have a good standing. We try to get good connections with them. And why do we do this? Because we think when some calamity comes, some difficulties comes, we can go to them and they can help us. Therefore, we try to build connections to wealthy people. But Periyalvar says, Tuppudayare adaivadellam sorvudattu thunayavadendre. But who can give us real shelter? This is you, Krishna. We seek all these wealthy people, but only you can give us the real shelter, Krishna. Sorvudattu thunayavadendre oppilum aagi ninnadaindhen aaneikku nee arul seidamaya. And now Periyalvar thinks, okay, Krishna, I want to take shelter of you, but I don't feel like qualified to take shelter of you because you are such a wealthy and a big man, big person, and I am such a small living entity. How can I take shelter of you, Krishna? But then he remembers, Aaneikku nee arul seidamaya. But Krishna, one time you give shelter to an elephant. Right? When Gajendra called out for Krishna, Krishna was there to help. So all Periyalvar thinks, you gave even shelter to an elephant, you will also give shelter to me, I think. So Aaneikku nee arul seidamaya. But now Periyalvar thinks, but Gajendra, what did he do? He called out Krishna's name when he was dying. But now Periyalvar thinks, Öppennai vandu naliyumbodhu ange naan unnai ninaikka maaten. But wait a minute, when death comes to me, I don't know if I can think of you, Krishna. Gajendra, this elephant, could think of you. I don't know if I can think. So therefore, Krishna, appodeke ippode solli veiten arangathanai palliyane. So, Lord Krishna, Lord Ranganath, therefore, I chant your names now. And please don't forget it. I don't know if I can think of you when I die, but I try to chant your names now And please, Krishna, take this, remember this, and whenever I die, please give shelter to me and relieve me. Tuppudayare adaivadellam. So we are trying to take shelter of trees that have no fruits and flowers, but if we go to Krishna, he will give us shelter. If we follow all the processes, if we follow the instructions of our gurus and the devotional service, Krishna is there to give us shelter. So these are some words which I want to share. Thank you very much for listening. And if you want to share something, you can. Otherwise, we can end. Hare Krishna. Okay. Then Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.